All right, let me start with a bold claim. Your wearable might be making you less healthy, not more. I know that sounds strange, almost backwards, because these little devices are sold as the ultimate path to fitness. But after 6 years of strapping one to my wrist every single day, I can tell you this with confidence. At first, it was innocent enough. Count my steps, log a gym session, feel that dopamine hit when I close those little colorful rings. It was simple, almost fun, like playing a video game where the prize was your own health. But as the tech evolved, the numbers multiplied. Calories, sleep cycles, heart rate, oxygen levels, stress scores. Even my bathroom scale started cinching in. More numbers, more graphs, more supposed control. Now before we dive deeper, do me a quick favor. Hit that like button and subscribe if you want honest talk about health without the fluff. And drop a comment right now. How long have you been using a wearable? I want to know if you're a newbie in month 1 or a veteran like me. Because what I'm about to share is not the typical top 10 tips for your fitness tracker. I'm going to walk you through 3 mistakes almost everyone makes with wearables, and more importantly, how to avoid them. By the end, you'll not only know how to use these devices better, you'll actually feel freer, healthier, and maybe even more confident in your own skin. When the watch took the wheel, here's the first hard truth. At some point, the watch stopped serving me, and I started serving the watch. Have you ever felt that? Instead of listening to your body, you're listening to a battery-powered wristband telling you how you should feel today. That's not health. That's anxiety with a strap. I'll give you a real example. One morning, I woke up feeling refreshed, clear-headed, almost bouncing out of bed. Then I glanced at my watch. Recovery score. Terrible. According to the algorithm, I should be exhausted, sluggish, maybe even careful not to push myself. And in that moment, I felt doubt creep in. Maybe I was wrong to feel good. Maybe I wasn't as ready as I thought. Think about that. My own body said, yes, let's go. The watch said, no, you're tired. And for a few minutes, I believed the watch more than my own body. That's when it hit me. I was outsourcing my decision-making to a device. It was like asking a stranger at the bus stop if I'm allowed to drink coffee. And that's the first lesson. These devices are tools, not authorities. But most of us make the same mistakes I did. Let me break them down for you. Mistake number 1, confusing measurement with meaning you can log 4 hours of deep sleep according to your watch and still feel wrecked the next day. Or you can score low on recovery and crush a workout anyway. The numbers are not commandments. They're approximations. I like to think of it this way. Numbers are maps, not the territory. A map can tell you how to get from here to downtown, but it can't tell you if you'll hit traffic, or if the street is under construction, or if a parade is blocking the road. Your watch measures signals, not the full reality. Here's where people get tripped up. They let the score define the meaning. A low number doesn't just measure poor recovery. It becomes poor recovery in their head. They feel bad because the app told them to feel bad. I've seen friends cancel workouts, snap at their partners, or drag themselves through an entire day because they got a bad sleep score. Their body might have been fine, but their mind was hijacked by a number. Zen teaches something beautiful here. Zen Sandwich once said, "Clear mind is like a mirror. A mirror reflects, but it doesn't judge." That's how we should treat our wearable. Reflection without attachment. The mistake is treating the reflection as truth rather than guidance. Mistake number 2, chasing perfection instead of patterns. Here's the second big trap. You don't need every night of sleep to be perfect. You don't need every day to hit 10,000 steps. What matters is the pattern. Are you trending toward better rest over weeks and months? Is your movement consistent across the year? If you zoom out, the noise disappears and the real signal appears. I once had a streak going, 120 straight days of hitting my step goal. I was proud of it. Then I got sick. For 3 days, I barely moved from the couch. My streak reset to 0. And I'll admit, I felt crushed. All that progress erased in one screen. But here's the reality. My body still carried every one of those 120 days. My heart, my muscles, my lungs, they didn't care about the reset. The only thing that changed was the scoreboard. This is where wearables can trick us. They encourage streaks, perfect records, daily wins. But life doesn't work that way. Health is like farming. One stormy day doesn't ruin the harvest. But if the season trends dry, then you adjust your watering. The key is direction, not perfection. So next time you see a bad day of data, zoom out. Look at the week. Better yet, look at the month. Ask, is the general trend climbing or sinking? That's where the truth lives. Quick pause here. If this resonates with you, drop a comment right now. Tell me if you've ever had your streak broken and how it made you feel. I guarantee someone else will read your story and say, me too. That's how we build a community around this. Mistake number 3, ignoring your own feedback loop. The third mistake is subtle, but powerful. If the watch says you slept badly, but you feel good, who do you trust? Most people trust the device. I say, trust your body first. Use the device to confirm, not command. For 1 month, I ran an experiment. I didn't check my sleep score until lunchtime. I'd wake up, notice how I felt, jot it down, then go about my morning. At noon, I'd look at the data. You know what I found? I was usually right. My sense of rest matched reality more often than the watch did. That was liberating. It reminded me of a Zen story. A monk asked, "How do I clean the mind?" The master handed him a broom. The lesson was simple. Clarity comes from direct experience, not secondhand interpretation. Your body is the broom. It sweeps away confusion when you trust it. The psychology of data obsession. Let's take a step back and look at why these numbers have such a grip on us. It's not just the device, it's how our brains are wired. Humans love certainty. We crave simple signals that tell us we're winning or losing. That's why slot machines are addictive, why we can't resist checking the scale, and why a little red notification bubble feels impossible to ignore. Wearables are designed with that same psychology. They turn health into a game with streaks, badges, rings, and progress bars. Your brain sees the data and releases dopamine, the same chemical rush you get from scoring a goal or hitting a jackpot. At first, it feels great. But here's the catch. The brain quickly adapts. What once gave you a thrill now becomes an expectation. Miss a goal, break a streak, or wake up to a bad score, and your brain registers it not as neutral data but as failure. That creates stress. Instead of motivation, you feel pressure. Instead of confidence, you feel self-doubt. Psychologists call this the quantified self-trap, when the pursuit of measurement replaces the pursuit of meaning. I've lived this. I've gone to bed at night, not relaxed and ready to rest, but anxious about whether my watch would approve of my sleep. Imagine that, worried about tomorrow's score before tomorrow even arrives. That's not health. That's bondage to data. Zen practice points us to the opposite. Presence, not prediction. Guo Jun says in Chan, relaxation is the beginning of wisdom. Numbers can be helpful mirrors, but the moment they start dictating your mood, you've lost balance. The deeper principle, mirror, not master. So here's the principle that ties this together. A wearable should be a mirror, not a master. It reflects what's already happening, but it doesn't define who you are. If you treat it like a scoreboard, you'll always feel behind. If you treat it like feedback, you'll actually get healthier. And this is bigger than just health. Think about it. If you constantly let numbers define your worth, whether it's steps, calories, or even money in your account, you're living in a prison of measurement. True confidence comes from living, not from chasing scores. The Zen Sandwich technique. So how do we use a wearable the right way? I created what I call the Zen Sandwich technique. 3 layers. Start with awareness. Notice your body first. Add the metric. See what the device says. Close with reflection. Decide what really matters for today. Body, then data, then wisdom. That's the sandwich. Let's make this practical. Morning rule. Never check your sleep score before you check in with yourself. Wake up, notice how you feel. Maybe jot it down. Then look at the data. Give your body the first word. Weekly rule. Stop obsessing over daily numbers. Zoom out to 7-day or 30-day averages. That's where you see the truth. Context rule. Remember, life is messy. Travel, stress at work, kids waking you up at night. These things don't fit neatly into your wearables algorithms. Give yourself permission to be human. Now pause for a moment. Have you ever caught yourself obsessing over one number while ignoring the bigger picture? If yes, type guilty in the comments. Let's see how many of us have fallen into that trap. What happens when you shift? Here's the beautiful part. When you live this way, something shifts. The watch stops controlling your emotions. Instead, it becomes a partner in your awareness. You use the data to confirm what you already know or to catch patterns you might have missed. You get the best of both worlds, intuition plus information. And here's the kicker. Once you stop obsessing over the numbers actually improve. Stress drops. Sleep improves. Workouts feel better. You create a positive loop. Health becomes lighter, freer, more sustainable. It's the same principle I use in my diet. I follow what I call the middle path diet. We don't obsess over every bite. We zoom out. We cycle between phases of light discipline and relaxed flexibility. That rhythm makes the system stronger. Wearables are the same. Freedom strengthens discipline. Final reflection. Let me leave you with this. Your wearable is a mirror, not a master. It's a tool, not a judge. It can guide you, but it should never define you. When you let your body speak first, the watch becomes a friend instead of a tyrant. So now I want to hear from you. Have you ever had your watch tell you that you were stressed or tired when you felt fine? Did it mess with your head? Or maybe it caught something you didn't notice until later. Drop your experience in the comments. I guarantee you are not alone. And if this resonated with you, hit that like button so more people can hear that their health is more than a number. Subscribe if you want more real talk about health, wealth, and wisdom. And share this with a friend who's glued to their watch right now.